Hi, my name's Shaun. I'm the Strategic Solutions Specialist at Valona. And today we're going to talk about how the Middle East scenario is developing. So if we look back at what we had before, and at this point, this was 2 days after the conflict started, we had no idea how long it was going to last. But we looked at food, we looked at energy, we looked at trade, and we looked at macro events that could impact how all of this would play out. But luckily, this has not run into a very, very prolonged situation. Let's start unpacking what we have. So we can cut off the last two stages of this scenario, and what we can do instead is just review where we've started. So with Epic Fury starting in February, now we find ourselves in a memorandum of understanding period for 60 days, where hopefully by the 17th of August, we'll have a peace agreement and hopefully a ceasefire that works in between. If all goes well, we could see a quick recovery. And by quick, I mean half a year to a year and a half. We could see a slower recovery of 2 to 5 years. Or worst case scenarios, we could see a permacrisis that lasts for 5 years or longer. So what is going to determine what the outcome is? And it's going to be a whole bunch of little gates, of little stages that we reach as we move through this. So first of all, if there's a disruption, a significant disruption to the peace agreement, we could be in a permacrisis for quite some time. But asking questions like, will the agreement hold? Will the ceasefire hold? Will hostilities actually end? Will the mines be swept? Will Hormuz reopen properly? Will the oil price normalize? Will chemicals recover? Will fertilizer recover? But what about the US and Iran's domestic policies and also their allies' policies as well? And then the last question is on the oil industry and the chemical industry, what is the speed of reconstruction going to be that gets us to these scenarios? Now, the other variable that we look at is what happens in November with the US midterm elections that could impact this quite heavily going forward. So what does a quick recovery mean? A quick recovery means that we go through all those gates and everything goes according to plan. And in 6 to 18 months, we should be back to some sort of business as usual. A slower recovery is if mines don't get swept, if infrastructure is not rebuilt in time, we'd look at a more slower recovery. And then in permacrisis is if there is no lasting peace in the scenario and we just have this VUCA environment rolling forward as we go forward. So please follow us for more on the US-Iran situation and diving deeper into these scenarios as the situation rolls forward. Please like and subscribe and see you for the next edition. Thank you very much.